All right, howdy. Welcome back to WindleyMania, the greatest podcast you never heard of, brought to you by the greatest band that you have never heard of, that band being Windley. You got to follow at Windley_band on all the socials and listen to the tunes. You'll be snapping along, and you won't even realize that my name is the best in the world, Andrew Reidner. And with me, as always, man's best friend, Devin Hopkins. Hey, man.
What's up?
Yeah, what? Are you okay?
I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm perfect.
You look like you got frozen for a second.
No,
You're like a deer in headlights over there, man.
I'm just.
You've done this before. What are you doing?
I'm just hanging out. I'm ready to get into it. How are you?
I'm fine, dude.
I'm glad.
I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you want to go outside? Want to take this outside?
No.
Make out.
It's raining.
Yeah, it is raining.
And it's nice. It's kind of like it's going pitter patter on the.
They call it pitter patter, but it does not sound.
It sounds like pitter patter.
Like it doesn't emulate the phrase pitter patter.
You're deaf though, because that's pitter patter up there, pal.
You want to get you? I'll pitter patter your balls. Once I figure out what that means,
I'm sure you will. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll
figure it out. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Restore internet connection.
Yeah.
Google pitter patter, and then you'll do that to my genitals.
Yes.
Nice. And that's why we're friends, man.
Yeah. We go way back.
Way back.
Yeah.
And we're not alone, though. Although
we're not alone.
No, we're not alone. I don't know what I was about to say. We're not alone. We are being joined this evening by the one and only, the Big Dick Dan, as I like to call him, Daniel MacDonald. Say hello. This is an audio medium.
Yes. In case the listeners at home can't tell, there's a lot of sexual tension in the room. So I'm just a little,
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Myrtle Beach shows photographer extraordinaire.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you take the pictures.
The signature photographer.
I see a lot of people take pictures, but I don't. And I like a lot of the pictures I see from other people. But I'm telling you, this guy, Daniel, I see him get up in the fucking grill, and he's like working. You're working when you do it, man.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a workout. I mean, I got to lose some weight, so, I got to do something during the show that's a little bit.
You're killing two birds with one stone.
2 birds.
Yeah, I see.
One stone.
Yeah. So, actually, I have a bone to pick with you. I just remembered.
Oh, goddamn.
Okay, so, after, what was that, the one show at Brick House?
Was that the Turn Fort show or
the Turn Fort show?
Yeah, Turn Fort Hymns show.
That's when I was formally introduced to you. And then the next day I was at Food Lion and I saw you and I said, "What's up?" And you walked right past me.
Did I just completely miss you? I'm so sorry.
I said, "Hey, what's up, man?"
I feel so bad.
Fucking, you kind of glanced at me and then
I just missed you.
Kept going. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I was just like off in my own world. I promise.
Well, I was also wearing like basketball shorts and a hat. I looked like I was in a disguise.
Incognito over here.
So,
you can't be recognized in public.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered.
But I remember I was just like, oh, man.
I don't know. Like a grocery store is normally like I get like lost in my own head when I'm in there.
Too. Yeah,
I just like totally zone out. I
Yeah.
usually have headphones on and I'm just like completely somewhere else.
I don't want to see anyone I know there.
I hate seeing people I know.
Yeah,
I feel like we've talked about this before.
I think
but
we have.
I hate seeing people. I love the grocery store, but then there's so much I don't like about it. It's kind of like life itself in a way. It's like a great gift, but goddamn, there's so much burden
after burden.
Burden, yeah, just so much bullshit. And, what I would feel like is a place of serenity, it can turn into a world of nightmares when you see someone that maybe you talked to a few times, like 5 years ago.
Oh, shit.
Or I know but here's the thing: I was delighted to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then because I was like, this guy, right? But fucking.
I'll make it up to you somehow.
So how about an apology right now?
All right, Andrew.
Yeah.
I am extremely sorry for completely ghosting past you in the Food Lion aisles. I hope whatever you bought that day was good. Mm-hmm. And if I see you again, I'll try to endeavor to not do the same thing to you.
All right. And
also, I'm sorry, and you're the best in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Everyone knows. People say that about me, right?
It is true.
All the time.
Yeah,
actually, Devin told me that. He told me you were the best in the world.
Yeah, well, he looks up to me.
He does.
I'm like,
right
I'm like
now,
a mentor.
He is looking up to you
Let's take it easy on that.
I'm a mentor.
Let's take it easy on that. Let's pump the brakes.
He's a teacher. How did I do? Usually,
let's pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, you give me an apple every morning. You give me an apple, and hey, Teach, how you doing?
Hey, Teach.
I can't wait to learn from you. Oh, great one.
What did he learn?
Huh?
What did he learn?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. I taught him that thing to do to my balls.
The pitter patter.
Yeah, he just forgot. Maybe we have to redo that lesson.
Yeah,
The
great
pitter-patter.
teacher you are.
Well,
Summer school.
I did it to someone else, and they said, "What are you doing?" They said, "That's not. It's wrong." They said, "Whoever taught you should be shamed."
Well,
and I said, "I gave him your address."
I have a specific taste.
Yeah, I know. Balls.
Well, normally in that situation, I don't think you're the one doing the tasting. I kind of think that's Devin.
Exactly.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, I fucked up that man's palate, man.
Well, he's had the best.
He doesn't
in
know,
the world.
He doesn't know what fruits taste like anymore.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I'm looking at a big fruit right here. And I know exactly what he tastes like.
Yeah, he lives off of coffee beans and toothpaste now. It doesn't really matter. He just needs a little bit of nutrition. Yeah. Anyways, where are you from, man?
I'm from here, Myrtle Beach.
Really?
I was born in Grand Strand Hospital.
Oh, wow. Me too. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Myrtle Beach up until my sophomore year, and then I went to AAST.
Oh, okay.
2 years. I graduated in 2013. So
What'd you go to there? What'd you do there?
I did digital communications.
That makes sense.
So
You always done the camera thing, pretty much?
For a while, my mom was really into cameras when I was a kid, so I kind of got into it through that way. Also, I hate having my picture taken. So if I have the camera,
Isn't that ironic?
It is ironic because I love doing it, but whenever I see especially I don't know. Y'all know Bridger. I don't know if anybody who's listening knows Bridger.
Who?
I
don't know him.
Bridger Swimmer. He goes to the show sometimes. He has a camera. He took an absolutely ghastly photo of me at the last.
Well, maybe other people think it's a very handsome photo. And it's just
I don't think so.
Well, that's what you think.
Well, I think it's a great photo. I just think it looks terrifying.
Okay, I see.
That's Bridger's MO. Sorry. Shout out Bridger.
That's his MO is to take nasty pictures of people?
No, he likes to flash people and just kind of caught me unaware.
Expose his cock and balls?
Sure.
Oh, you mean flash like camera?
Yeah, like camera flash. I don't know about the other. I mean, I can ask him next time I see him. Maybe.
I mean, if you're lucky, you might not have to ask. You might just do it.
Oh, you could reach out to him on Instagram to see if he's interested. Maybe not.
I don't know. It might ruin the element of surprise.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been doing the photo thing for a while. Kind of picked it up more in college. I went to college at Charleston, and then since then I kind of just did it for myself. I really didn't get into show photography until kind of earlier this year.
That's when you started doing that?
Yeah, doing the show photography. Because I've been kind of doing my own, just for fun, artistic outlet. Get outside and do stuff. But I met Jimmy earlier this year at Fresh Brewed because I hung out there all the time. And he invited me to go to the show in January there, the circuit show. And he was like, hey, if you want to take photos, be our guest.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. This sounds like a fucking great time.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love taking photos at shows. It's a great time.
I can tell you like it because I see you at shows.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
Well, I like to go to shows.
Well, yeah, that too. Was that your, so Fresh Brew was like your gateway?
Yeah,
into
Fresh
all
Brew
that
was my gateway.
much? Yeah.
Yeah.
The gateway venue.
The gateway venue.
Which
I just hang out there all the time.
He's
And
always
was like, you
there.
should come to the show. And he
Yeah.
was looking down at me, actually, because he's really tall.
He's not that tall.
He's pretty tall.
Yeah, I mean, he's not that tall.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I'm not as tall as you, so maybe it's different for you.
Yeah, see? He's not that tall.
None of you
man.
guys are taller than me, though.
Yeah, Devin's really tall.
Yeah, I'm 7'4".
Yeah. Devin, when we have to talk to Devin, we have to stand on our tiptoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see what you did there.
See?
Hey.
I don't know if I want to talk about it yet, but we can. We can get into it in a way. I didn't really want this to be the main topic, but I feel like we're going to spend a lot of time on it. But you told us to watch this movie called Tiptoes.
Devin specifically asked me if I knew any terrible movies. And the first movie that came to my mind was this one.
Yeah.
I see why.
Yes. It's sort of been an obsession of my friend Veronica for a while. And she forced me to watch it months back. And I just remember going into it without knowing anything about it and being completely blindsided by this experience of cinematography.
I knew very little about it.
Yeah.
It was just based on like what you told me. And then like I didn't look at anything else. And I was still like kind of just like blindsided about some of the stuff that happened in this film. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why did it get made? But I don't know. Where do we want to go into this?
I mean, do you like movies?
I love movies.
Yeah.
One of my favorite pastimes.
Do you like to rewatch Tiptoes a lot?
This is my third time seeing it.
Third time? Wow.
I saw it once early this year.
I can understand seeing it once, but 3 times.
So I saw it once early this year, and then we decided as a gag we would build it up to one of our other friends and show it to them. And just be like, this is like a hidden gem. This is, you gotta see it. This is like film education 101.
I don't know if I would necessarily, if I saw it once, I don't think I would need to be in the room another time to show a friend.
Not really.
I would just say, like, if they've seen it, they've seen it, you know? I would, like, I wouldn't want to be there because I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah. Fair enough. The third time I watched it was just so that I could refresh myself about what was in the movie so I could take notes. I watched it again last week so I could take notes on it.
Wow. So,
academically, of course. No laughing. I just stared directly at my screen and then cracked a smile. Just sat there. I
forgot about this movie, basically. I think you mentioned the plot when you mentioned it for the first time, but then I forgot the plot. And honestly, I wasn't going to watch it.
Fair enough.
I just wasn't going to watch it. I told Devin, like, look, man, I'm not going to watch this goddamn thing. And the Devin was like, hey, you should watch it. So.
I'm so glad you did.
And so I did.
I was like, because I was like worried. I was like, dude, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning. I felt like I was like, all right, where can I not spend money to watch this? And you had said you had like access to it.
Yeah.
But I found it on it is on a Roku TV. So
yeah.
A lot of y'all have a smart TV. It's probably a Roku.
I watched it on Amazon Prime.
You paid for it?
No, it's on the...
Oh, it was on Prime?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, watched it, well, not technically free, but free enough.
Yeah, I'm not paying for Prime
Like,
anymore,
I didn't have to, like, pay an extra $4. You're not paying for Prime anymore. Why not?
True. I don't use it enough to, like, justify it.
Come on, man. You don't order Amazon every day?
No.
You order a shit ton of stuff from Amazon.com, our favorite website?
Well, you get ads for it?
I don't know. Not yet.
I mean, if we got ads for it, yes, I love using Amazon.com, using promo code WindleyMania.
It'd be like G103 capital Q,
lowercase
some bullshit
Q.
like that. So fucking
this work of art is what we'll call it. Let me get. I don't know. Let me see what I wanted to. Tiptoes.
Okay, so this is a 2003 film that Daniel recommended us. Again, this is what he wanted to share with us.
I was following the assignment. Okay.
All the Windley Maniacs. You should have given him a better assignment than.
I said, what's a bad movie you want to talk about?
You should have picked a good movie.
Nah, we talk about movies.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I have so many good movies.
No one wants to hear us talk about a good movie.
I don't think we've ever had the chance to talk about a good movie besides like in small like segments.
We'll mention like that's a fucking good movie.
That's a fucking movie.
That's a fucking motion picture.
We could have talked about John Wick 4.
Could talk about John Wick 4.
All right.
How many times have you seen it?
Talk about John.
4 times.
Do you want to talk about John Wick 4 now, and then miserably talk about Tiptoes, or do you want to say?
Let's refresh our mind with how great Keanu Reeves is at the end of this train wreck.
Okay.
That'll be a palate cleanser at the end.
Yeah, a little palate cleanser.
Little lemon sorbet.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what was it? 2003.
2003 or 2004.
What was the name of this asshole that directed this? I didn't write down his name. I don't think it really matters.
It's
he hasn't done anything since. So.
Yeah.
It's Matthew Bright.
Do you have any information about him?
And a funny thing is this is a 90-minute cut. There originally was a 150-minute cut
that Peter Dinklage described as beautiful.
I highly doubt that.
Yes,
I gotta see this 2.5 hour cut of this movie.
The studio was afraid of the 150-minute cut from what I can remember reading about this, and they fired Matthew Bright after they had shot it, and they cut it down to the 90, and Matthew Bright went on a whole crusade against it, talking about how they ruined it and hated it. And he had his writing credit changed from his name to Bill Weiner.
That was it, Bill Weiner.
Bill Weiner. But he was not a part of the Directors Guild, so he couldn't get his director credit struck. And he described the original movie as a raucous comedy about little people fucking, is how he described the movie.
Yeah.
Apparently dream movie. And then he never made another movie.
Hey, what was the studio that put it out?
Don't know. Let's see.
Because I just want to, I'm trying to, I did very, very minimal. Miramax. So what were they doing in the early? They had other shit going on in the early.
They had all the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what the closest one to that time. Clerks 2.
Clerks 2 probably would have been closest in time period to that. I'm trying to think when Dogma came out.
I think that was 99.
Yeah.
So that's pretty close. That's only 4 years before this.
98 or 99. Because I remember there was an All song on that movie.
Ooh.
So
Dogma rules, by the way.
Dogma's good.
So this is a.
Oh wait, no, I'm lying. I'm thinking of a different movie. Dogma was early 2000s. Sorry. Continue. Think of a different.
Does it have an All song in it?
No, it was a different Kevin Smith movie that has an All song in it. I think it was Mallrats.
Might have been.
I don't know why I was getting those mixed up.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
I mean, same guy.
There's a lot of movies.
Same guys.
There's a shit ton of movies, and Tiptoes is
one of them.
Unfortunately, one of them. So it's 2003. What was the guy's? Matthew Bright.
Yes.
Okay, so the cast is Matthew McConaughey. It's Gary Oldman. Mm-hmm. It's
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. Was she doing Underworld yet? That was right around that time, right?
It would have been right around that time. I'm not sure if it came before or after, but it was right there in the same. I think it was actually before, because there's another bit of lore about the movie that she did it for a lot less money than she would have, because there's some promise made about her being able to wear a hat or something.
I think I saw the hat.
What?
Yeah. She wanted to wear her lucky hat in order to film this. And I guess at one point, I think it's there's a scene halfway through
where
the movie.
She wears a black.
She's got this big, obnoxious, big black hat.
I didn't really.
It's when they're going to the family barbecue.
That was it.
Okay.
And I was like, that must be the hat. But apparently, someone told her to take it off, and Matthew Bright or someone said, nope, it's part of she's got to wear it.
It's part of her contract.
It's part of her contract. She has to wear that hat.
Less money to do this movie.
Yeah. Very interesting stipulation.
Peter Dinklage, when did Elf come out? Because he had that small part in Elf.
Elf was 2004.
Okay, so
3 or 4.
This is right. I don't know what else he did before that.
I'm not sure.
Besides this, but I knew Elf helped
probably
with him because at the time I guess that was a really, really funny scene. Yeah. And I don't know how.
Great movie.
It's a good movie.
Christmas classic.
And let's see, Peter Dinklage, and then Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
Who I watched another Patricia Arquette movie last night. And
which one?
Lost Highway.
Oh, nice.
And she's really great in that. And then this, her character she's just kind of stupid.
That's an apt way to describe her character.
She's pretty.
Are you telling me you didn't like her cornrows?
She had cornrows, and then Peter Dinklage gets cornrows too.
Yes.
In the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I didn't have any issues with her cornrows, but it was just the character was pretty. I guess the best thing about that character is she did stand up for herself, I guess.
Oh yeah.
In her her relationship fights, but besides that, she was pretty fucking stupid. But this is a movie about a Matthew McConaughey who his twin brother is Gary Oldman, who is a little person, and the whole family are little people, and then his wife becomes pregnant. And
so Matthew McConaughey's wife becomes pregnant.
Yeah. And it's a very meandering, bizarre fucking movie that did not enjoy watching.
I don't blame you.
And we talk about like bad movies and we kind of do it on purpose, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of just fun. I mean, when you look at The Room, like The Room is
that's
like
a fun movie. That's a rewatchable bad movie.
That's
a
movie
rewatch-
of all time.
yes.
Yeah.
And
The Neil
it's
Breen
fun.
movies.
Neil Breen.
The Neil Breen movies are great.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we talked about is a little miserable. Like
Those Hulk Hogan movies weren't like the best things to watch.
But I would watch them.
I would watch them again.
Suburban Commando. I
Yeah.
would watch that all the time.
Yeah.
Compared to this was just
The worst movie.
This is just there's nothing. I can't think of a single redeeming thing about this. Who was this made for? Because there's no way this guy was like, this is a movie that I'm going to make for little people. Yeah, I don't think any little person is like, this is their like, they needed this.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to speak for little people.
I'm not going to speak for little people either. but I'm like trying to think because like, what is this movie about? Because like,
there's
what is it about? Like okay, so put yourself in the shoes of a little person. What themes are being explored to be like, you know, like you could be whoever you want to be as a little. I guess they say that the little people say like, you know, just because we're little, we can still live our life and be happy. That's cool. But I mean, just the whole thing in general, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't.
Nothing about it. I mean, maybe that's what we lost in the 2.5 hour cut.
Yeah, maybe there's like a lot more.
That's what I feel like. The 2.5 hour cut must have something in it. Because there's like some tension up until like, you know, Matthew McConaughey is a, you know, regular sized person and all of his family are little people. And there's some conflict about him worrying about his son or child having dwarfism. But like, there's no hint in the movie about him not liking little people until his wife goes like, why do you hate little people? While they're laying in bed out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're like making out, and she's like, "Why do you hate little?
Why do you hate little people?"
There was a few scenes like that was another thing. Like the tone was just all over the fucking place.
All over the place.
It's like out of nowhere they're like making out, and then it's like, then they're fighting.
Do you like the only reasonable thing I could see like him being upset is like maybe he was worried about like he grew up in a family of little people and they didn't really talk about it. I guess maybe they did. My mind was just so fried watching it. I couldn't really comprehend most things.
Yeah.
But maybe like it was just sort of a thing Matthew McConaughey's character was feeling like, okay, my kid is going to be a little person and it's going to be really hard because, you know, unfortunately a lot of people are cruel.
Yeah.
Even if, you know, it's a normal person, but they're little. You know what I'm saying? Just like, prejudice, stuff like that. Just maybe that's what he was upset about, but he didn't really like.
He didn't express it in
imply
that
at all. He just seemed very pissed off.
He punched a hole through a wall in a hospital
after his child was born.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to go through the plot in any sort of way? I mean,
that's okay. So yeah, basically like that's it. Like,
but I mean, like from the movie. Okay, so it starts off with Matthew McConaughey and his wife, and she wants to give him
suck him off.
She wants to give him a blowjob.
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah, like not even in the like 1 minute mark. She's about to suck his shit clean off,
and he's like, I can't.
I gotta go.
go.
It's a family thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. He kept like they were dating for like a year, and she had never met any of his family, and they were like about to get married, and that was another thing.
And he also never told her his family were little people.
Yeah, and
or like he had family.
So he goes to a little people convention where his family is at, and you meet his family, who his dad is William Anderson.
Yes, from Twin Peaks.
He's the arm from Twin Peaks, and he sounds like this. And who's that? Eric Gale was in this. Did you see that? He played Howard.
Yeah, Ed Gale. I wrote that down. I was like,
Ed Gale, that's his name?
Yeah, Ed Gale.
Yeah, so
apparently he's a bad man, but we don't have to get into that.
He's a bad man.
Apparently
what do you do? What do you do?
Apparently he was trying to solicit some sex from some teenagers.
Whoa.
Ed,
recently.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
bad.
Recently.
Yeah, it was like April. Like on his Wikipedia, because I was going through the cast and I saw Ed Gale. I was like, that looks familiar. Like it was like purple.
I guess we got to go back.
I had already clicked on it. I was like, oh, it was Howard the Duck, and then I was like, oh, he's bad.
I guess we should cut out the part of our Howard the Duck episode where we gave him a standing ovation. We didn't know that at the time.
That might be a little late.
Where we gave him his flowers.
Yeah. And then, meanwhile, Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage are on the fucking open road in these like
on
motorcycles,
big giant tricycles.
Yeah, and they pick up Patricia Arquette, who got kicked off a bus, probably for being fucking
in the middle
stupid.
of the desert, by the way.
Yeah. And Peter Dinklage is like, Peter Dinklage is French in this, by the way, too.
Yes.
So he's
like a Marxist.
Moi likey the woman.
Yeah, likey the woman.
And then he picks
omelette au fromage.
Yeah.
He's like, you ever had any of this French lean? And he gives her a drink with cognac and codeine syrup
that was
he
it.
imported from France.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's just straight up just morphine.
He just got morphine.
And Hawaiian punch.
Okay, and then they make it to the convention, but they're too late. And then McConaughey and Gary Oldman are talking to each other in the parking lot. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, people who refuse to watch this movie, I do not blame you. We did say Gary Oldman's character was a little person, but obviously Gary Oldman is a normal sized man in real life. So in this movie.
It's very obvious.
Yeah, it's a little too obvious.
They do like a couple things, but it's obvious. It's so obvious.
He's performing on his knees the whole time, and they CGI out his legs whenever they do like a shot where you could see his whole body.
Yeah, they avoid full body shots.
But it's usually out of frame.
Yeah.
There was one time towards the end of the movie where he was going to the door, and the door obviously hit his feet and stayed open. But okay, have either of you guys seen the 1920 movie The Penalty?
I have not.
It stars Lon Chaney, who was like a character actor back in the day, and that movie is him. As a boy, he gets a bad diagnosis, and the doctors amputate his legs, and then he grows up. Lon Chaney grows up to be a mob boss, and in that he plays an amputee, and he performs that movie on his knees as well. Mm-hmm. He looks in pain the whole time in the movie. I don't know if it's like really considered good because he's just like wincing the whole time. But that's kind of what this reminded me of, just as like a normal sized person having to work on their knees.
Gary Oldman looks uncomfortable the entire movie.
Yeah, he does.
He's having a bad time.
He kind of looks like Jeff Foxworthy in this.
He kind of does.
And he talks
like him too.
What did he say? Yeah. He said the one line. He said, You went and nip-tucked that girl, and you didn't even tell her that her baby's probably going to be little. That's a line that Gary Oldman says.
Oh, there's a lot of great lines.
Oh yeah, but that was one that stuck out to me. There was actually a moment where McConaughey and Oldman were kind of like being awkward in the parking lot that I kind of thought was all right. Where they were, because they hadn't talked to each other in a long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but then I was like, Gary Oldman's in a bunch of prosthetics and on his knees, and this is fucking weird. So it's like, I don't know.
It'd be different if it was like an actor you didn't know, but it's like Academy Award winning Gary Oldman
was in Batman Begins a year or two later.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, not to mention they already hired for the entire movie like a large amount of
scores of little people,
like to actually play parts that were in the movie.
Right.
But I guess they felt that Gary Oldman just had to be the brother. And it's not physical. I mean, they're supposed to be twin brothers.
Yeah, and he's 10 years older than McConaughey.
Yeah. In real
life, he is 10 years older than Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it doesn't, and also it's kind of hard to really like, unless you sat down and like researched it, if you don't really know anything about like little people genetics, it's sort of like, does this happen?
Yeah.
Like, do they? I don't know, because I never like watched any of those TLC shows either, and I'm sure those teach you a whole bunch about the.
It's the Learning Channel.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a little I'm ignorant in that aspect of life where I could a small person pop out a Matthew McConaughey.
Only in Tiptoes.
Only in Tiptoes.
Only in Tiptoes.
So, what happens next? Essentially, in this, the brothers part ways, and the Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage and Patricia Arquette go back to a hotel. Oh, I guess that's basically the main thing, right? They go back to the hotel.
Yes.
And
there was before that, where that was when Kate Beckinsale she tells McConaughey she is pregnant.
Oh, it's that early?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like after that dinner scene, like he's home and they're like, laying in bed. They're laying in bed, and she's like, "Hey, I think I'm pregnant. Is it gonna be a little person?" And then it was just kind of like really.
He doesn't
awkward.
tell her yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't tell her yet.
He's just like, we should talk about. These things. And she's just kind of like, but I thought you'd be happy about it.
Yeah, I thought we were ready to settle down.
It
was like
we're not married.
We're not married.
This is something you talk about first.
God is going to send us to hell.
You didn't quite say that.
No, he didn't say that. But after that's where we go to the hotel, and it was just a really like just one of those like first like drawn out scenes where not a whole lot of shit happened. It was just like
Peter Dinklage.
That was when he gives her the lead.
Up Patricia Arquette with morphine and cognac, and then they fuck.
Yeah,
which they don't show on camera.
With Gary Oldman in the room, he's like, "Well, keep it down."
Yeah,
he takes a shower and comes out in the bathrobe.
Yes,
which seems like a really odd part of the scene to like. I don't know. Like every time I think about it, he just like comes out in the bathrobe and then he lays down, and then Peter Dinklage and Patricia Arquette just have sex.
Yeah,
next to him in the hotel room.
He's like, "If you don't want to hear it, put on some headphones." That's what he says.
Oh yeah,
something he gets sick too. Right?
Yeah, he gets sick, and there's like, that's a thing that happens to little people. Is what is how that's
Gary
explained.
Oldman's like, he's just on too much morphine, so his organs are shutting down.
Yeah, and they just kind of drop that.
Yeah,
yeah,
like Lisa's mom's cancer in the room just vanishes.
Yeah,
they bring it up. It's gone.
Gary Oldman leaves.
Everyone's seen The Room. I got a signed Tommy Wiseau postcard.
Oh yeah, what did it say?
It said, "To Devin, love is blind. Love Tommy Wiseau."
Man,
I got it with my I got it with my Blu-ray.
Oh, that's nice.
He's definitely been here.
Probably, yeah.
He's definitely been here.
Yeah.
I love it here.
It's American, very American country, very American city.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Very American city.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me. What happens next?
So after that, Gary Oldman leaves the hotel room because he can't sleep.
That's right.
And goes to his old flame, Sally.
Yes.
Sally. Who is pro-Palestine.
Did she say that? Or or the guy?
The guy that she was living with, and she said she let fuck Tice because she was sad for him because his family was removed from the Gaza Strip.
Oh, I see.
So this is a very early 2003.
Some political
maneuvering.
That guy, he says
I have the line written here that is one of my favorite lines in the film.
What is it?
Do not give to me the shit.
He does say that.
And then she retorts, "Do not give to you the shit?" Like
questioning it.
Well, I like that he says, "But what about the things you said to me in the darkness?"
Yeah. You said I'm so handsome. You said I'm a hunk. You said you would love me forever. And then there's a fight. Yeah. There's a couple fights. This is a good fight. Yeah. Not a good fight.
Gary Oldman and the guy.
Gary Oldman and the guy.
The guy just kind of beats the shit out of it.
This is old, but he visits the old flame. Then there's a dude that's seeing the old flame, and then he and Gary Oldman get in a fight.
And then she hits.
Gary Oldman does a backflip.
Yep. And she hits him with a radio that is like.
And then he pulls out a gun.
Yes, there's a gun.
And he juggles it. And then he says, "I'm going to my brother's."
Yeah. There's also a moment in which the guy that is seeing Sally asks her for money.
Yeah.
And says, "I'll repay you in your G-spot."
Yeah.
And then she goes into the room where Gary Oldman is hiding and asks him for the money, which is...
Yeah. And he's like, here, you want it?
He's like, here, go for it. And then tries to defuse the situation by trying to give the man more money, in which he gets...
That's how you get people to calm down. Just give them money.
Yeah.
Give him money.
Did y'all look up that particular actress?
No.
She's a pornographic actress.
Yes.
And she got arrested a few years ago for stabbing her boyfriend in the leg a bunch of times. That was my fun fact about her.
Did you watch any of her work?
I had to look a little bit. I was curious.
What'd you find?
Yeah, she does porn. She gets fucked in her holes. I don't know what you want.
God, Devin.
Thanks, Devin.
That's what porn is. What
Is
happens?
it?
Not wrong. But
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it. I was like, oh, that's what she looks like naked.
Yeah.
Now I know. Back to the movie.
I don't consume that type of
I
media.
paused it. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
I guess I have to thank you for doing it for me, Devin. I'm salute you. And then let's see. Then
Devin,
he
you're a
meets
pervert.
the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's when he goes to.
He goes to the Gary Oldman goes to Matthew McConaughey's house and meets Celine, whatever.
I
her name is.
refuse to learn these characters' names.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Carla.
Carol.
Carol.
I wrote them down. I wrote down the four main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes
But
in. Rolf.
Rolf.
Is Rolf.
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 With an E.
Yes, it's Rolf. I wrote down Rolf or
Like-
Ralph because I couldn't tell what they
Yeah,
were saying.
Ralph.
It's Rolf.
There's also a scene in there where
Dumbass
like
movie.
Matthew McConaughey is at the fire. So Matthew McConaughey is a fireman trainer.
Yeah, and he's a fucking asshole.
Asshole.
He's a fucking dick.
He's like
Oh.
called this guy a fat piece of shit, saying he can't move. And he's treating it like it's a fucking Navy SEAL boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's just shoveling fire, like dirt
Shoveling
over
dirt
a
over
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was after Gary Oldman goes to.
This is after 9/11.
Yeah, this is after 9/11.
So that the
9/11.
firefighting training
more-
it got more intense.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
militaristic.
Yeah.
That was when Gary Oldman goes and meets Kate Beckinsale, and she's like, "Wait, you're his brother?" And this is the first of many scenes where you see Gary Oldman on the couch with his fake legs doing
Yeah.
the same pose each time.
Yeah.
Obvious fake legs, just
It's
like
literally
Every time he gets on a piece of furniture too, he like jumps up and like
Yeah.
flips around.
Yeah.
And it's a very busy motion.
Yeah.
But
I
what
don't
were you
know.
saying?
I don't know if they got like bigger furniture for him to like simulate being smaller on. I don't
No.
know how they did. I don't think they did. I don't know.
for the people who are at home, and obviously maybe not, it's literally that trick where like he's actually kneeling down with his legs under the furniture, and they have fake legs coming from his waist.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was it.
over the furniture.
And they're kind of like halfway dangling over the like edge of the couch, and like every time you see it, they're in the same pose.
It's the same pose.
Even like in different couches,
Yeah.
it's the same pose. But yes, that
And
is
then-
when we go to the fire camp, and this is when Kate Beckinsale decides it is ideal to go confront her would-be husband. Like while he's like, apparently this is like hours away because she was like, he's gonna be gone for like a week, and then she like drives her ass up there to go scream at him in front of his like fire trainees. You tell me your brother was a little person.
Which is not the word she
She's
says.
not the word she used.
She uses
she
the
learned.
M slur
Yeah.
a bunch
Yeah.
of times. And when he tells her to stop saying it, she goes, I don't really care about all that stuff. And then continues to use the word.
Would you
Yeah.
please stop saying?
Would you please stop saying that? It's really
Would you stop-
offensive.
would you
And she
stop
goes, I
using
don't really
that?
care about all that stuff.
You got to stop using that word.
You gotta stop using that word.
You gotta stop saying
Which
that
is
word.
crazy because after that, 10 minutes later, they have the party scene,
Yeah.
and she shames one of his students he invited to the party because she says it, and she
Yeah.
goes, "You really shouldn't say that word."
Yeah, that was when she hung out with Gary Oldman for 10 minutes and learned everything. No, she went with the whole family.
Yeah.
She went and met the whole family, and that's when she's like, I've been thinking, I've been learning, and I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I've been thinking and learning.
I've been doing a lot of learning.
Small Gary Oldman with prosthetics is
10
kind
minutes have barely passed in this movie, by the way, in between her just dropping the M slur hard and
Yeah.
then just being like, you really shouldn't say that.
Yeah. Matthew
How could
McConaughey's
you?
Like, add a girl.
That's offensive to Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
You can't say that around Gary Oldman. Where are we?
Jeez.
That party is an insane scene because Gary Oldman then catches his old flame. Gary Oldman and Matthew McConaughey have a blow up because Gary Oldman character is upset, obviously, because his brother has not told his wife about his family, and he thinks that, that Matthew McConaughey is ashamed of his heritage.
Yes.
And they have a big fight, and Gary Oldman tries to go and find Sally, which is the old flame of the party again, and finds her in the middle of a glass room.
Yeah, having sex with, what's the actor's name? I don't know, but the guy's name was Jerry Robin Jr., who I think was like a micro celebrity like in this town, because there were people like, oh, is that God. Jerry Robin Jr.?
Yeah, I want to get his autograph.
David Allen Greer is the actor.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just he's just like fucking her in like the middle of this party, like in this room, like a living room.
That everybody can see because the house is made of glass.
Yeah, there's everyone just like hanging out like, hey, having drinks.
But Gary Oldman can't find her for like 15 minutes. He's like walking around like in not like movie time, but like in world time. He's like, I can't find her. And she's just in the middle room of the house that is just all glass. No like real wall. Having sex with this man.
Was it loud? I don't remember.
It was like,
Devin?
what, the party or the sex?
The sex, Devin.
I don't remember this. The sex was very brief. The sex part was very brief.
Yeah.
But like the party was loud.
Sure.
Yeah.
What happens?
I don't know what happened. The next thing I have
this
written,
is like where the movie gets like aqueous in my memory.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Even though I just watched it. So they take Gary Oldman home, and then there's a series of events happening. I think the next thing is that her parents have a barbecue.
That's right. They have like a gathering at the couple's parents meet each other.
Oh wait, there is one thing that happened in between that. Oh, there's a quote at least that I'd written down.
Okay.
So that means I was at the right spot. I thought I had like skipped a bunch of shit.
Oh, okay.
But there's another like cuddly scene with McConaughey and Beckinsale, and Kate Beckinsale delivers this line: "You had a circle jerk with a bunch of little people? I would love to see that."
Yeah.
And then they start making out.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to her parents' house, where all the parents.
She was questioning about like, Rolf and Sally were attached at the hip in high school, and they couldn't have been more than 15. And Sally asked him in front of everybody at school, "Rolf, you haven't fucked me in 5 months."
Yes, that's what they were talking about. They were talking about sex and like being little people, and
he's like,
she was asking
with
about
a little person.
Yeah, she was asking him about like his family and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they all met. Both parents.
Her dad
met.
rules, actually.
Yeah, her dad was. I forgot the actor's name, but he was.
I forgot the actor's name, but her dad really killing it. I gotta say, maybe the best character in the movie.
Yeah, he was great.
He was great. He was just rolling with the punches. But they like try to set up this whole angle with the mom where you're like, she's definitely gonna mention it because she's uncomfortable the whole time. Her dad's having drinks. They're talking about it. And, she's being quiet, and, her daughter told her not to embarrass her, and they're kind of fighting. And she says, well, we have to talk about it now. And, they build up this whole scene where she's like, well, her grandfather is not very well, and, he never forgave us for the way we did our wedding. So I hope you'll consider having a Orthodox Jewish wedding. Turns out, Kate Beckinsale's Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like it led you to believe like, oh, they're going to talk about
little people.
They're being little people, but no, it's like you guys got to be Jewish.
You guys have to be Jewish.
You guys have to be Jewish.
They're like, okay.
Which it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like really just like
it's like really bizarre because there's no like mention of religion or anything like that at all through the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's not anything like that. Their parents don't, dress in traditional garb or anything like that. There's no hint or talk about her being Jewish.
Oh, except for the part where Gary Oldman calls his penis the Holy Sacrament. Go ahead.
When did that happen?
It was early in the movie.
Early in the movie? I must have missed that all 3 times that I watched it.
It's my Holy Sacrament that you sucked on, Sally. Yeah, go ahead. So, but besides that, and then Gary Oldman does say, like, fuck it, well, if he dies, we're going to switch it back to Catholic.
That's right.
And they all think that is the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Ever. Yeah.
And there's like 5 minutes of laughing at that one joke. And then it cuts.
That was another scene where they like hid Gary Oldman. He was just behind that little bar. Like, what are y'all drinking?
What are y'all drinking? French 75, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what the dad orders.
She'll have a vodka tonic.
She'll have a vodka tonic. And then they cut directly to the wedding. There's also a thing where they say that Matthew McConaughey is a Navy man, and he and her dad bond over that.
That is okay. So that explains how harsh he was at the fire academy.
He's in the Navy.
Because he's in the Navy.
Yeah. Everyone in the Navy is really, really mean.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Fuck the. And then they cut directly to the wedding where they're wearing yarmulkes and they're in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
I don't know
with like 10. Like,
I don't know if that's what an Orthodox Jewish wedding is.
Never been to one.
Never been to one.
I thought that it would be in a synagogue.
Yeah.
It seems like anytime you see it depicted, it is in a synagogue.
Yeah, no, they just I guess their idea of an Orthodox Jewish wedding is they wear yarmulkes.
Yeah, and they've got
That's it.
That's it.
Get the fucking scarf.
They have a vaguely.
Yeah.
I guess
he was a rabbi. I guess he had to be a rabbi.
Yeah, a vaguely rabbi-looking fellow do the wedding, which is.
Yeah.
But then this, like, in the scene, I guess maybe this is foreshadowing for the rest of the movie, because the first time I saw this movie, the ending of the movie blew me away.
Yes.
In terms of like what.
I thought this was it. I thought I have written happily ever after. Not. I was like, this is it. Okay.
This is it.
They're happily ever after,
she runs up to Rolf and kisses him on the mouth.
Yeah, I thought that was strange too.
And is like, thank you for all you've done.
Right.
They do kiss each other a lot before.
Maybe it's supposed to be foreshadowing, but it's also like.
It's just a weird choice.
Just a weird choice. Like, you just got married, like, literally 2 seconds ago. You just ran up to his brother and kissed him on the lips in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Which was weird. And then the hospital scene.
Well, that's also, I forgot that in Orthodox Jewish weddings, there is, after the whole, ceremony, there is the kiss to brother.
Yes.
Where the bride has to make out with the brother.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you Jewish, Andrew?
I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's always a good one.
That's always a good one. Knocks him dead.
Yeah, and then they go to the hospital.
This is where the movie's like. This is where I was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Is all of this really happening?
Yes.
This is where they went with this movie.
Yeah, so they go to Matthew McConaughey's dad again was played by William Anderson, who was on Twin Peaks, and then he has a gymnastics recital, which is kind of like a violin recital, but it's him doing gymnastics. So they all go to the gym, and William Anderson's doing like backflips and shit.
This would have made more sense than what actually happens.
Go ahead.
They go to a hospital, and I guess they felt the need that they didn't have enough representation. Because it's
they honestly did a good job for representation. I mean, they had the parties and shit, and there was little people everywhere, and then the family's very big too. Full of they hired a lot of little people for this movie. The doctor.
The doctor is also a little person.
Yeah.
What I mean, fair, but then
are you saying that little people can't be doctors, Daniel?
No, it's just strange because the rest of the hospital staff coming around.
Did you learn anything from Gary Oldman?
I'm just thinking like maybe like inside the movie they don't explain that they specifically sought out a little person doctor because they were worried about it, and their fears were correct because they do end up having a.
Well, Matthew McConaughey's fears. I feel like. After the 3-second lecture she received, that
Carol was on board.
Yeah. She was like, all right, I learned my lesson, Mr. Bluebird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey pushes a hole in a hospital wall.
And
the doctor looks at him and goes, man, you need therapy.
Yeah. Might I suggest therapy?
Might I suggest counseling? And Matthew McConaughey says another line that I have. He says, I don't need counseling. I just need new chromosomes.
That was it. For Matthew McConaughey being so tall, he's got a short temper.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you.
What? Am I right or am I right? Short fuse on that guy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the deterioration of their relationship happens quite quickly.
Oh yeah, not very long. It's his baby's fault.
It is the baby's fault.
It's the baby's fault.
Because he punches the wall and leaves, and then comes back to the hospital later and holds the child.
How's my baby doing?
Yeah.
He's like, how's my baby boy?
That's my baby boy.
All right.
And then they cut immediately to them after a few months at their house.
Yeah.
Shouting
At his wife because the baby is crying because the baby is in pain.
And he's like confused by it, but she's like, he's in pain.
No.
And then, but then he's like, you won't say his disease.
You won't even say the word.
You won't even say
it.
what he's got. You won't say his disease.
Say it one. Just say the word. And then he goes, he's a dwarf. And then Matthew McConaughey gives the most passion to his final line in the scene, in which he goes, I'm a dwarf. Sorry, did I blow your ears out? But he yells it at like the top of his lungs off screen.
Yeah.
And it's like the most, he tries extra hard on that line.
He goes, he gave that his all.
It's like, I don't know. And just like during that whole sequence, he just looks like he's been drugged out for a while. He's got dark circles. He's thin. He kind of looks like from when he was at the Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, yeah,
when he was in that movie. He does not look good. I have written down, what did I have in your mind? Oh, yeah. Never mind. Sorry. That was not a quote. But then they're sitting there talking quietly, and he's just like, it's not working out. He's just looking at his wife. He's like, I'm going to leave you with our child.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not working out. I can't be a father.
I can't do this. It's not all right. And then she bails and goes to Gary Oldman's cabin.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Their
and
family
Peter
cabin.
Dinklage
Their family cabin.
For the
Patricia
winter.
Arquette are living in a cabin now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a good old
nowhere.
time.
Well, he's syndicated. That's the key.
He is syndicated.
He's
in
syndicated.
3 different newspapers writing. I don't know what he's writing.
The Chicago Tribune and political opinions, because Peter Dinklage says that he's too middle of the road.
Right.
And Peter Dinklage is a
like a
Marxist. Is a Marxist who, let's see, thinks the women's liberation movement was a mistake.
Yes. That's what he says.
That's what he says. And
Around
then
his hippie girlfriend.
Yeah. Who then says, I'm not cleaning your dishes or your skid marks anymore.
Well, opposites attract, man.
She goes in the cabin and just starts. I know she turns on like the stereo and starts playing like some some rock. I like to believe that she went in there and started shredding herself. She had
threw on a backing track.
She just threw on a backing track and just went in there and just started going to town.
Yeah.
But
her and Bill Pullman in there.
Yeah.
He's got a saxophone.
Yeah.
There you go. So what the fuck? This is like towards the ass crack of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey rolls back up and he's like, I want to say bye to my son. Right?
Yeah, and he says something along the lines of like, you better love my son.
Love my son.
Before that, though, Peter Dinklage asks Kate Beckinsale if her breast milk can be alcoholic. Because she's drinking like a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And then breastfeeding her child. He goes, your baby gonna get drunk off that? But in a French accent.
Is
your baby going to get drunk off that?
Drunk off your titty milk.
I mean, he wanted some. Yeah, we also missed the best part. Peter Dinklage.
There's a best part in this movie?
Yeah, Peter Dinklage and Patricia Arquette are at the wedding, but they're not sitting there.
Yeah,
they have a picnic blanket, and Peter Dinklage then has cornrows as well.
He does have cornrows.
Yeah, and they're gone later.
They are gone later.
Commit to them.
Yeah.
They said, you got to get cornrows for one scene.
One scene. And
it's like 3 minutes. Well, maybe there was more. Maybe there's more cornrows in the 2.5 hour cut.
There's like 20 minutes of him getting the cornrows.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Yes, Peter Dinklage.
It's just a lot of them hanging out.
Yeah. Peter Dinklage and Patty Arquette get in an argument and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Right. And the whole argument is about like her saying that she's leaving him, and then he just goes, "Not if I leave you first."
No, you hang up first.
No, you hang up first. Yeah, you hang up first.
And this is when Gary Oldman gets the T-shirt that says, "I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up."
Yep.
Yes.
And you can see his legs come back when he's like holding the baby on the other couch, and you can see his legs are in the same pose as they were at the old apartment. Yeah. And he's like coming in and taking the baby, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. You go get some rest. So
yeah.
This is what I wrote. Well, as soon as she got to the cabin, I typed plot twist. I knew it because she's going to go get some of the other brother.
Yeah,
she's gonna get some of that holy sacrament.
Matthew McConaughey comes back and says, "Take care of my son" to Gary Oldman, and drives off after looking at his son and saying he's getting bigger and stronger.
Yeah, he does say that.
Which is the choice words for your son you've abandoned.
He's getting bigger
and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also said something like, "You're wrong" to her after they've been separated for months in the movie.
Yeah.
Something about like, she looks at him and he's like, you can't have a father who just doesn't love their son or can't show affection to their son. He just looks at her and goes, "You're wrong."
So I don't know about that, Chief.
I don't know about that,
I hate this kid.
Yeah, I hate this kid. And then Kate Beckinsale and Gary Oldman look at the stars the next night, and then she stares into his eyes and goes, "You can kiss me, Rolf." And then they make out at the end of the movie, which comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
Absolutely nowhere.
They make out and it goes to black.
Roll credits.
Yeah. The whole movie, the first time I was watching this movie, I thought, okay, maybe this will be like a movie about Matthew McConaughey's journey to like learning to love his son and getting over his, I guess, family trauma that maybe he really shouldn't have, but okay, I could see that. Nah, Gary Oldman just says, "Let me get in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the stepdad."
Oh, I forgot this one part where Matthew McConaughey says, "You know what the best part about being average in a dwarf family is? I keep getting taller, they stay the same height. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do." That was a good line.
That was a good line?
That was a good
Is
line.
that what that's from?
Yeah, that's what he says.
I've missed a lot of this movie, apparently. I missed whatever Andrew said that he saw, and I've now missed that. I'm going to have to get back and watch it.
Did you guys see the post-credit scene?
Nick Fury, he comes up.
Yeah, Nick Fury. They go back and they're still making out, and
turns out the baby
her
was...
hands are in Gary Oldman's pants, and he's like, "Yes, smack my balls and wiener with your bigger hand."
Do the pitter
than mine.
patter.
Yeah.
Oh, your hand's so much bigger than mine because I'm a little person. Yeah, the Nick Fury comes up in the fucking Quinjet, and he's like, "Rolf, I see that you like to be a little person and write political opinions in newspapers. How would you like to be a little person and write political opinions in newspapers for your country?" And then fucking the DeLorean comes and it's fucking Doc Brown. He's like, Rolf, we gotta go.
We've got to go.
And Rolf's like, what's wrong, Doc? Is something wrong with me? He's like, no, Rolf, it's your kid. He's not a dwarf. He's big and strong.
And he kills you.
Yeah.
Great ending to the movie.
Yep. And then it fucking goes to black.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. It goes to black a lot.
So, it does go to black a lot.
So you watched this 3 times on purpose.
Well, one time as a joke. One time just because we were curious, we're movie curious.
You were curious.
Yeah, curious about, because we saw people were like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. And naturally, that's going to make me be like, all right, well, really? That sounds like fun. The second time was as a gag to try and show a friend. The third time was just so I could take notes for this. And I thought if I was going to subject you two to this movie, I should at least...
One more time. That's understandable.
You're a real trooper.
Is this the worst movie you've ever seen?
It's up there. At least it's got some entertainment value for me just because of how...
Just how bizarre it is.
Bizarre it is.
Uh-huh.
I kind of enjoy that kind of just being in a bizarre zone. I think the worst movie I've ever seen would just be something that would bore the hell out of me.
Sure.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now that would qualify for that. I mean, this is more enjoyable than watching Night Moves, which is a Gene Hackman movie that makes even less sense than this movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
I haven't seen that either.
It's long. And it's a neo-noir, well, not neo-noir, it's a noir movie from back in the day, and Gene Hackman is this private eye detective. Anyways.
Another episode.
Gene Hackman's this private eye detective, and he's in his office late one night, and his secretary comes in, and he's like, she's like, Gene, there's someone here to see you. And he's like, it's been a long night already. Send him in. And then in comes through the door small Gary Oldman.
On his knees with a little cane.
Gene, you have to help me. Or whatever his fucking voice was. Gene, you gotta help me.
It's kind of southern in this.
My brother gone missing.
My brother's gone missing.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm trying to think.
I guess he had to do the southern accent because Matthew McConaughey
could not speak in a different voice.
Gary, I can't do anything besides
Gary, I can't do anything else.
This ain't gonna fucking work.
This just ain't gonna fly, Gary.
Someone had edited. I was trying to like find like.
I saw it too. Yeah.
There's like nothing. There's no like. There's no one on Conan talking about this movie.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Tell me about Tiptoes. There's none of that.
No,
but
because
someone edited that one together of Gary Oldman
talking about him playing Winston Churchill, and he's like, it was a role of a lifetime. And
they clipped it together.
You know, the makeup and the prosthetics, and they were like cutting back into the fucking.
I can't imagine why they wouldn't promote the movie because the director was only fired before it was cut, and
Well, did it go straight to video? Essentially,
it might have. I'm pretty sure it did because the director kept bad mouthing the movie. Like before they released it, because he said they were ruining his vision.
Yeah, they're like, the only way we're gonna make money off this thing is if truckers happen to buy this in a gas station and they decide to jerk off to it.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder why. It wouldn't make any money.
So,
it feels like something you could take the whole family to.
I mean, you technically could. There's nothing like super.
It's like it gets racy.
It gets a little. You could probably take a 12-year-old.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I made the embarrassing movie stories when I was 13. I wanted to go see Don't Mess with the Zohan. Mm-hmm. The only family member that was available to take me was my grandmother.
You told me about this.
I did tell you about this. One of the most. I left the theater to go to the restroom and came back and sat like 5 rows behind her after the initial barbershop scene in which all of the grandmothers had sex with Adam Sandler.
I think I saw that.
Why did you sit next to her and nudged her? What do you think of that, Grandma?
Nah.
I think I saw
Would you
that
also
with,
pork Zohan?
We left the theater. My grandma was like, next time we're leaving the movie theater, we could have seen Cars.
You could have done both in one day.
Yeah, you double feature.
I already seen Cars. I don't want to see it again.
You didn't want to see it again?
I don't know.
You
but
a big Cars
it's probably what I would have said. Nah, mortified.
I think my parents took like me and my brother to see that because it's an Adam Sandler movie. We're gonna go see it.
I didn't see it.
They
in
also
theaters.
took us to see Norbit in theaters.
Oh,
I did see that with my family.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah. I have a hard time. I had to go to the movies a lot alone, kind of when I got to high school, because I got really into horror movies, and the rest of my family are frightened. Just not there.
Babies.
Scaredy cats.
Big scaredy cat.
Scaredy cats.
Big scaredy cats.
Don't like the scary movies.
My mom talks about seeing Birds from Alfred Hitchcock when she was a kid. She said it scarred her for life.
Really?
Yeah. I guess it was scary back then.
I guess, at the time,
yeah. At the time. Black and white. I don't know. I always want to ask her if, like, she was scared, if she saw, like, a train coming at her in the movie theater.
Yeah.
She was one of those people that, like, got out of the way.
Yeah. So what did you guys want to talk about John Wick?
God, that movie
those movies are great. Those
that
movies
movie
are
fucking
awesome.
kicked ass.
I've only seen the first one.
Oh, you gotta watch them all.
I don't really want to.
Really?
Oh, they're all good.
No, I'll watch them.
Great.
All good.
I don't know,
they're all like
That's fair
kind of the
enough.
same.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
It's
they're
like
all good.
The fourth one is like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
the fourth
so
one is
good.
ooh. But
In a good way.
yeah. But it's like, you know what you're getting into. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to whoop ass for
I guess
like
that's
2
fair.
hours.
But that's the thing. Like, I feel like the average John Wick fan saw the first one and then they had to wait for the other ones. Whereas right now, I've only seen the first one recently, and I can just watch them all. I don't really want to do. I rather space it out because I know it's going to be a lot of the same.
That's fair. John Wick 4 is like by far the best one, I think, though, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, Devin.
I don't know,
They're all good, but
they're
it's
all
like
good.
John Wick 4 has like all of the other movies combined, like in terms of like the amount of action and just like scenes.
Yeah.
Plus, like, the technical level of some of the shots is, like, a step above the other three. Just in terms of, like, the lighting in, like, Osaka, the shot at near the end of the movie in Paris, I don't want to spoil it, but the one inside of the apartment building where it goes above.
Gary Oldman's up there.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's up there, yeah. He's hanging with his cane, actually.
And then Keanu Reeves beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
With his cane.
He kicks the fuck out of him.
Is that your favorite Keanu? We talk about Keanu on here usually a lot. I feel like we've talked about him a lot.
I don't know if we've talked about Keanu.
You don't like Keanu Reeves?
I love him. John Wick is definitely. I grew up with like The Matrix, so like that's kind of like Keanu to me. Is Neo in all three? Well, four, but
I didn't see the fourth one yet.
Four was pretty good. It's divisive, but
I thought it was okay.
I'm a big Parenthood guy. You ever see Parenthood?
I don't think I have seen Parenthood.
The movie's kind of bad, but it's kind of fun. There's a shit ton of people in that movie. And Keanu Reeves is in it.
Another movie called like 47 Ronin.
Oh yeah, that was like the remake of the original one or something. They like whitewashed it kind of.
Yeah, they did whitewash it extremely.
I watched like some of the original because there's like the original 47 Ronins are like 4 hours long or something ridiculous like that.
Well, I'm a big Kurosawa fan. I like long movies, so that doesn't like intimidate me too much. But like, you know, they always remake movies like that. Like they've remade like Seven Samurai.
That was one with Tom Cruise, right?
No,
that was Tom Cruise. It was
the Last Samurai.
Yeah.
They're gonna remake.
I'm the last one.
They're gonna remake. Did you hear this? They're remaking High and Low. And,
are they?
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey is going to play the businessman, and Gary Oldman's going to play the kidnapped son.
I love High and Low. That's a great movie. Kurosawa rules so hard.
So
they're going to do twins.
They're going to be twins.
They're going to do. Well, no, they're going to actually bring Kurosawa back from the dead, and then he's going to direct a remake of Twins, and it's going to be all Japanese and shit.
With Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman speaking Japanese.
Yeah. You know, one thing I'm surprised about for Tiptoes is we tried to do like a betting pool to see which person it comes back to bite first out of the main cast. Or not.
What do you mean bite? Like
I feel like maybe it's just not like ever going to be culturally relevant, but we were like, if it was going to be one of the actors who got like guff for the movie, which one do you think it would have been?
I don't know, because I feel like
not that it would, but
probably not Matthew McConaughey, because he's done a lot of dog shit.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be Gary Oldman.
It would have.
Gary Oldman makes the most sense just because of like
his role.
Yeah, it's so jarring, just him as that.
Just him on his knees.
And Peter Dinklage, not so much. It was just, I don't think it would affect him.
Not really.
It was just like an unfortunate like character.
I wonder what happened if you just like asked one of the actors about it. Like
they would just like, hey, what was your name? Nice meeting you. All right,
bye.
See you. Oh, okay,
great.
And, but yeah, that's probably it right now. Was anything else? Anything else?
I don't know. I'm gonna go watch it again. I'm ready for the sequel. Tiptoes. Let's make it happen.
So,
Tiptoes.
I was just gonna say, there's so many bad movies out there. We can always pick another one, Devin.
I gotta watch something. Really
I don't know if I'm gonna let you pick
home.
another bad movie.
No, probably not, because I will find another absolutely terrible one. I have quite the backlog that I've had to watch.
Yeah. So
I can pick a good movie.
Yeah, Daniel. If someone wants to hire you to take pictures or do whatever, or you've listened to a podcast before?
Yeah, I listen.
Do the stuff the guest does at the end of it.
So, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah.
If you guys want to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram at Poptimism. That's going to be POPPTIMISM. You can just reach out to me on Instagram or follow me. You can find me at all the shows generally. I won't be here for part of June, but I'll be at almost all the other shows. You can find me hanging out at Fresh Brewed. Shout out Fresh Brewed. Love them. They're the whole reason I kind of
The building is a listener.
Yes, the building is a listener. The building listens.
Yeah.
You guys don't know there's a ghost there.
It's Christ. Jesus Christ.
Is he the ghost?
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
The Father and the Son.
Sure.
But that's where you can find me. Come say hi to me. I'm really friendly. I promise. I won't just walk past you like I did Andrew at the Food Lion. Again, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, man.
God, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
He's glaring at me right now. He's holding a gun.
He always has a gun.
Always has a gun.
I thought you said gum. He's holding gum.
He's holding gum. No,
in a very threatening manner.
Yeah. Just a big wad.
You have a threatening aura, but I think it's just like intimidation.
I do give off a threatening aura, but I'm not. I don't think
you're a threatening person. I just think it's your stature and just intense.
I am very intense. I like to be intense.
Intense.
Like he likes
camping.
He likes to camp.
Yeah. I love being intense. I like feeling the walls really close to me. And
the walls are closing.
I like the floor to be bumpy. Yeah.
You like bugs.
Yeah.
To crawl in your holes.
Whoa. I thought that was your job.
So, Daniel, thanks for hanging out.
Thank y'all. I'm glad that y'all invited me. This was a great time.
Dog shit movie.
Yeah.
I don't regret watching it, but I would definitely.
I definitely recommend.
Not watching
I definitely recommend everyone watch it.
Yeah, sure.
I think
if you want to watch it, you can
also
just reach out to me. I can get you taken care of.
Yep.
We pretty much covered.
You have the movie in a serum, and then you inject people, and it goes in their mind. That's how I watched it.
Put a helmet on you, and then we inject.
Yeah. You just happen to call it Amazon Prime for some reason. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed.
It's kind of like Scarecrow's fear toxin from Batman Begins.
Yeah. Well, that was like a spray. It was like a.
Yeah. Well, you spray you, and then all you can see is Tiptoes.
Oh God, no!
So
don't look away.
Do all the stuff Daniel told you to, but also I'm going to tell you to do some stuff. You got to follow at Myrtle Beach Shows because that's where you'll find shows that happen in Myrtle Beach. Sure, there's a bunch of shows that happen in Myrtle Beach, but there's nothing like a Myrtle Beach show at Myrtle Beach Shows. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, we got a bunch of stuff. This summer is fucking packed to the brim, baby. So let's see. June 8th, Mall Tombstone, Visions of Brutality in Arcera. Frank the Frog at Arcadia Studios. That's going to be $10, 6:30 p.m. June 8th. June 16th at Fresh Brewed Coffee House, $10, 7 p.m. You go there at that time. You pay that much money. You're going to see Bedlam Hour, Brandy and the Butcher, Heavy for the Vintage, and Sir Kit. June 17th, the Big Boy at the fucking Brick House. $20 on the Eventbrite, or probably at the door. Although there's a shit ton of people who bought tickets, and maybe you should be one of them. At 5 p.m., it's going to be at the Brick House again. At 5 p.m., it starts with Windley, Hymns of Blasphemy, Graves of Valor, Knife in the Dark, Your Spirit Dies, No Cure, Extortionist, and My Children, My Bride. July 8th, Fresh Brewed Coffee House, July 8th. Pleasure Island, Middle Earth, and NC Cum Dogs. And that's going to be $10 at 7 p.m. Cum Dogs.
Cum Dog Millionaire.
From North Carolina.
Favorite movie.
July 15th at Arcadia Studios, Circle Back, Harm, Candescent, and Pressure Falls. July 15th at Arcadia Studios, $10, 6:30 p.m. July 29th at Fresh Brewed Coffee House is going to be Blightmouth, who more recently formerly known as Monocopsis, and also a bunch of other fucking bands. And then Stankface, Orange Doors, and Hyper Loops. July 29th at Fresh Brewed Coffee House, $10, 7 p.m. Follow at Myrtle Beach Shows, or else they will hurt me. Oh, God. See, they're already starting. You got to follow.
That's right.
So, Devin?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's all I got. I got to get back home so I can just watch Tiptoes again.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you got to follow at for more Windley crap, you got to follow at Windley_band. And then you got to go on the toilet and look at windleyhub.blogspot.com. And more importantly, you got to have a nice day. And
or else we're going to hurt you.
I'll hurt you. If you don't have a smile on your face, I'll know. I'm going to get you. So, all right, bye. For real. I don't know.